Well, good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? Pretty good here, and welcome to the channel. Hey, today I'm going to I want to do a little test regarding axle wrap on the Tacoma up here. A while back, I did a video. I stuck a camera underneath. Actually, right in this area, right there is the little holder for the camera, facing the axle here in the back. I wanted to see how much this whole assembly bounced or moved around going down the road with respect to the lift, and if there was more movement in the lift, or because of the lift, I guess, to that whole assembly area there due to the lift. So I determined, after getting a video from another guy on here, Snail Trail 4x4 by the way, where he shot a video underneath his stock Tacoma with no lift, and the axle and all the movement and everything back there looked pretty much the same. But now what I wanted to see is, since I've taken the bigger wheels and tires off, the fuel wheels and tires under here, you guys can see right there, whether or not it still all moves around as much back there as it did before. In other words, do I still have a lot of axle wrap or not? So I'm going to stick the camera under there. We're going to go for a ride. I'll probably do a little voiceover as we're going because I won't be able to talk underneath the truck while I'm driving, obviously. And we'll take a look at the axle wrap with the smaller setup on here and see if it looks to be as severe as it was before. So let me go ahead and get that set up, and then we'll take off. Okay, here we go. We've got everything synced up, I hope. You guys can see the the whole assembly down there, the rear end, if you will. We're going to start her up, back out of here, and take a look. Now, we are going to start off right from the garage going down the lift. So, you should be able to tell. I'm sure I got the radio off here. I think so. Turn the air down a little so it's not blowing on you guys. Probably make you real cool, I know, but here we go. All right, we're recording. Let's see if we can't get out of the garage first of all. You guys can see the assembly working as it should there. Now I will say I did put a RobMotive sticker on there. You guys can see that. Not that this is a shameless plug, but you can pick them up on the channel. Message me for how. But anyway, I wanted that for perspective. So we can see the axle spinning. Sure I don't hit anything here. More easily under the truck, I guess. And I think that'll help out a little. Let me get all backed out of here. It's a little bit of a process getting out of my garage. Okay, here we go. You might have seen a little movement already. I'm not sure. I wasn't watching the picture. I was watching what was behind me. But now we're going to get out on the road. Hopefully I don't run through any puddles or anything. You guys will see a splash. Now you can see how the axle and the whole assembly there is moving around. It's a little bumpy in here, so it'll give you a little bit of a look-see, I guess, at the whole assembly moving over bumps and things as we go. But we're going to get out into the real world here in a minute, and let's do a quick stop right here. Here you can see a little bit of movement. I must say, so far it might actually be a little bit less. I can't tell quite yet. Of course it's going to move around, don't get me wrong. The whole assembly is designed to move. If it didn't, you would probably have bigger problems than larger wheels and tires. So, okay, we're going through a puddle here. I'm really hoping it doesn't splash all over the camera. Okay, we're out into the real world now. And we can kind of take a look at how it's performing. Going over a few bumps and things, nothing too extreme. Speed is, let's see, right about 26 miles an hour right now, so you can see what it looks like there. You got some bouncing around there. Might be about the same as it was before. I'm not quite sure yet. I honestly don't expect it to be any different. I expect it to be the same, but wasn't quite sure. Okay, we're gonna go over some bumps here. There's some smallish bumps. A couple more there. We are getting some good movement back there. Again, I had received a video from Snail Trail 4x4's truck, and his looked almost identical to what mine did, if not identical. And as I mentioned, he doesn't have any kind of a lift or anything on his truck. So it was a good comparison, I think, for stock versus my truck, which is modified with a lift and bigger wheels and tires. And I will say, I do still have, here's a bump. There we go. Let's get up to speed, and then we're gonna, I do still have the lift on the truck. It's only the wheels and tires that have changed. We're gonna get up to, right now, about 40 miles an hour. Now let's just do a quick stop. And a takeoff. And a level out. So there was a little example of a stop, a pretty hard stop from 40 miles an hour, and then a pretty severe takeoff. I mean, I didn't floor it, but it'd be like if you were trying to get ahead of somebody on an entrance ramp on a freeway, you know? I didn't quite nail it to the floor, but I hit it pretty good. All right, now we're gonna accelerate from a turn right now onto a 55-mile-an-hour road. Actually hit 61, a little faster than I wanted to accelerate, but that's okay. So now you guys can see how it's performing just driving along on a, I wouldn't call this a smooth road, but it's not like driving down a dirt trail somewhere at, you know, 50 miles an hour for sure, but it is relatively smooth as compared to some of the other roads I was on a little bit earlier. So you may see some moving around. We're going to come up to a little bit of a bump here in a minute. It's actually a bridge where it meets the road. So we're going to get a little bit of a bump there. And then we'll do a turnaround, pretty severe turnaround on the road with a little bit of acceleration. And we'll see if we get any more movement out of the whole assembly back there once we do that. So we've got the bridge coming up here in just a second. Matter of fact, I'll let you know. It's right about now. And the other side now. So there's your movement on the road. It's not too horrible. I think instead of doing the turnaround, I am going to continue on. We're going to go to a back road, a subdivision, I guess, that is a lot bumpier than what we were just on or what we're on right now. And we really should see, there goes a nice Corvette. I know you guys couldn't see it. You might have seen it in the window over there. It was red. But anyway, we're going to hit a subdivision road here, I think. And it is a bit bumpier, well, actually a lot bumpier than what we're on right now. Here's a turn. Let's see, at 26 miles an hour. And now we're just going to accelerate back up to 55. And this road is a little bit smoother than the other. So this will show you what kind of movement we get back there on a road that's really pretty smooth. It's rough as far as the coarseness of the tar itself. But as far as bumps and things like that go, this road is pretty smooth. So it'll give you a good indication as to what that axle and the whole assembly back there is doing on a smoother road, I guess. Speed limit is 55. We're going 56 right now, so we're running the speed limit. This is what it would look like just hitting, you know, minor bumps and things in the road. Now, there is, of course, I've mentioned in other videos, there's a kit that you can get that actually drops the drive shaft down a little bit You can put that on to kind of even things out a little more. Right now, mine kind of comes like this a little bit. It would make it more linear, I guess. Straighten things out a little bit more so that you don't have as much angle in the drive shaft as there is right now because of the lift. Again, I think if you're concerned about this in your truck, if you're doing a lift, from everything I've read and gathered, the general rule is if you're going to do a 3, maybe a 4-inch lift or less, you don't really need to worry about it. But if you're going to go to anything more severe than that, then you need to correct the angle of the drive shaft so that you don't have any issues. Now, we're going to approach a stoplight here, and then we're going to turn back on to another, I guess it's a 45-mile-an-hour road with a little bit more bumps and things in it, and then we're going to hit the subdivision, and that's where you probably are going to see a lot more movement in the whole assembly back there. Now we're stopping at the stoplights. You can see the stop. There's the movement we get in the stop. I gotta say, I do think it is a little bit less severe with this setup for some reason. Maybe it's because I've lowered the truck in essence a little bit by putting you know, the smaller wheels and tires on, so I'm not sitting quite as high. Here's the takeoff and some more bumps for you. So I think that might have something to do with it as well. The truck itself, although the wheels and everything shouldn't make that much of a difference in height as far as the angle of the axle goes, but nonetheless, it is lowered, and it does look to me like it's not taking quite as much of a pitch, you know, when I stop as it was before with those wheels and tires on. So we're going to hit another bridge here, and you should see a little more movement back there right now. Looks a lot more severe on the video than it really is, I got to tell you that. And we're going to come to the end of the bridge here in a minute. Right now, really not much of a bump there. We're going to make a turn at about 25 mile an hour, and we're going to be on the bumpier road right now. So we'll see. I'm watching the video along with you guys as I tape this. I'm interested to see if this road does give me a lot more movement than the other one did. So far, not too bad. This road really hasn't been that bumpy yet, so I'm not noticing a whole lot. We're traveling at 35 mile an hour, and we're going to take another turn here in just a second, and then we're going to be on a bumpier road, more so than what we are right now. And that turn is coming up right now. Interesting to see how it responds, I think, in turns as well. Now we've got a series of bumps coming up here. There's one there, little one there, a few more here. That'll give you an idea of how much it's bouncing around just on a, this is just a normal subdivision. Here's a stop, so we're at a stop sign. A little bit of movement there, nothing crazy. And in a couple minutes, we're going to take another turn, and that will put us on the bumpiest road that we've been on so far, and the bumpiest road of the trip. You guys can see some stuff there, and you probably can hear the changes in my voice when we go over some of these bumps. It is a truck after all, so it doesn't ride like a Lexus. We don't have Lexus grade suspension on here. All right. We made the turn. We're on a bumpier road. We should go through a series of divots and bumps and things in the road now. Much bumpier road here. Okay, here's another decent sized bump coming up. Not too bad. Again, I do think from what I've seen so far and what I remember from the other video, and by the way, there's a good bump. I'll link that original video up right here, so you guys can check that out if you want. That is the video I originally shot with the fuel wheels and the Nitto Ridge Grappler, the bigger wheel and tire setup that I had on here, along with the lift. And again, here's a good bump coming up. Again, I just want to say that the lift is still on. I haven't removed the lift, so everything is apples to apples except for the wheels and tires, which is what I really wanted to test for here. Okay, we are back. I'm very interested to put this on a big screen myself. Little bump here. Ugh. That was probably one of the biggest ones we had. Let's see how that bump does with the Tacoma and any kind of an axle wrap, rather. But I just wanted to check it out, see if the changes I've made had any impact on the axle wrap in the rear end of the Tacoma there. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think from what you saw. Again, I think this is identical to the stock setup. I certainly don't think it's anything to worry about. As usual, appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time on the web. Have a great day. Bye.